I just got my first full frame camera. This is the D750 and I'm super excited to start using it. I've owned a D5300 and I still do, it's recording the video right now. And the D5300 is a crop sensor camera. Now both these cameras came out at around the same time, I think around 2014. And I'm noticing a lot of difference, obviously an improvement of image quality in the full frame camera for a ton of reasons that I can get into later on. You know, I've been using two lenses with this camera, so I got the 50mm 1.8, I also got the 70-200, and the 70-200 here is a used lens that I purchased for $350 USD, which is almost a steal if you ask me. It's made by Sigma, it's the 2011 revision, I believe, and the autofocusing system is pretty good. Like, it's not very slow, it's not very quick. The optical stabilizer doesn't really work, but I can't really complain for the price that I paid for it. The optics are in pretty good condition. I think my images are not sharp as I'd like them to be, and that may just be because there's a bit of smudge in between the glass elements, but I may look into getting that cleaned. I'm just not really comfortable opening this up. Otherwise, I was quite hesitant to get the D750 because of all the mirrorless hype that's going on right now. I just found out this was a little bit more my price range, and the D750 is still one of the top performing Nikon DSLRs out there on the market today. So 5 years down the line, this is still a very good option, I think. And so the main difference that I've noticed going to a full frame sensor obviously is the field of view. Let's say this is a crop sensor right now because I'm filming on the D5300. So this is my field of view right now. If I were to take the same lens and stick that onto a full frame sensor and put that on the tripod right now, you would actually get more on the sides and more up and down. And that's simply because the surface area of the sensor is 1.5 times greater on a full frame. So the full frame has a 36 by 24mm sensor. The crop sensor is 1.5 times smaller. I'm not going to do the math in my head. The crop sensor is good for things like wildlife and sports because you get a more zoomed in image basically. And I can actually set up my D750 to pretend it's a crop sensor and it'll crop the picture for me automatically. But I'm sacrificing resolution by doing that. By using a crop sensor, I'll actually have a 24 megapixel picture of that already zoomed in. So I honestly believe that cropping in and losing megapixel count is not a big deal at all, because most pictures nowadays end up on Instagram, and Instagram is barely 1 megapixel. So when you have a camera that shoots 24 megapixels, you can crop, you can afford to crop. Another aspect that I found pretty interesting is that the full frame sensor performs way better in low light situations. And that's just because basically, because you have a larger sensor, you're allowing more light into the camera. And because you're allowing more light into the camera, you don't need to bump your ISO up as much. And that just gives you a cleaner picture overall. So you have a 24 megapixel allocation to this sensor size. So if you took one of those pixels of that 24 megapixel, if you took one pixel, right, and you gave that pixel real estate on your sensor, that pixel would have more room, it would have more surface area on the sensor on a full frame camera. Even though, you know, it's 24 megapixels on both cameras, the full frame has bigger pixels. So you're letting in more light that way and you're getting better image quality like that. Yeah, what can I say? Overall, it's a great upgrade. It's a great camera and I look forward to shooting with it. And if you have any questions, let me know. If not, see you guys in the next video. Peace.